Hello. Yeah, sorry for the interruption as regards voice was concerned. Yeah, okay, Hari, now I am audible, I am sure. So, sorry for that, it was a technical glitch which we have overcome. So, I am back to the program. We are deciding March 5, 2021, OTT platforms will not have to register, say, central government, and 20 from Myanmar sought refuge in India. OTT platforms were kept under the Information Broadcasting Ministry a few months ago. That was considered the first step towards regulating the OTT platforms like Amazon Prime. There are confusion regarding the latest regulations by the government, and many stakeholders have aired their concerns regarding different kinds of regulations that government is proposing. So, now it is the job of the government to clarify those doubts. The Ministry of Broadcasting, Information Broadcasting clarified that OTT platforms will not have to register with the government, and no government nominee will be present in the self-regulatory body. The Hindu was a bit critical on the government decision, saying that it would seem to be innocuous, but it would be the first step towards controlling the digital media. Anyway, under the watch, February 25, the government announced new information technology intermediary guidelines and digital media ethics code rules 2021, which introduced a 3-tier grievance redressal mechanism for OTT platforms. Tier 1 is a grievance cell, Tier 2 a self-regulatory body of OTT platforms, and Tier 3 an inter-ministerial panel to look into complaints if they are not resolved at the first 2 levels. Okay. So, more clarity might be required from the stakeholders. OTT platforms will have to self-classify content into 5 age-based categories: universal, UA 7+, UA 13+, UA 16+, and A adult. Platforms would be required to implement parallel locks for content classified as UA 13+ or higher, and reliable age verification mechanisms for content classified as A adult. So, these are the proposals. So, and more and more discussions are required before the final regulatory norms can be laid down. 20 people from Myanmar have sought refuge in India. Some of them are said to be security personnel. We know that 4 states in India have common border with Myanmar, and Mizoram is one of them. These 20 people have come seeking refuge in India from Myanmar. We know that Myanmar is under military rule now through a military coup on February 1, 2021. The military toppled the democratically elected government by Wilmayant, led by National League for Democracy, whose leader Aung San Suu Kyi and the president are under house arrest. So, there are continuous protests taking place in major cities all across Myanmar. Military has fired at them, and it is reportedly killing more than 50 people. So, people are scared. They sought refuge in the Indian state of Mizoram, and some ethnic groups, Myanmar people are Mizos. That is why they came to Mizoram. The first question is given to you. For the year 2020-21, the Employees Provident Fund Organisation EPFO has decided to retain an annual interest of -%. during 2020-21 EPFO will give what sort of interest to contributions to EPFO? That is a question. Is it 7.5%, 8%, 8.5%, 8.75% or 8.25%? EPFO comes under the Union Labour Ministry, Employees Provident Fund Organisation. It comes under the Union Labour Ministry. It is a forced saving, a statutory saving. Yes, correct, 8.5% is the correct answer. So for contributions to EPFO during 2020-21 will be eligible for an interest of 8.5%. Very good. So I am proceeding. EPFO retains annual rate of interest at 8.5%. There were expectations that EPFO might cut the interest rate by at least 25 basis points, but that did not happen, which is a great consolation and or solace for the employees. So 8.5% is the annual rate that is therefore for the investments in EPFO are eligible. Second question, Chabahar seaport, which is being developed with Indian participation, is in very important, a strategically important investment for India. Chabahar airport is it in Iran, Iraq, Uzbekistan, Ukraine or Afghanistan? Yes, please. I look forward to your answers. Chabahar airport seaport is in Nikhila and Joy, Nithila. Okay, you say it is option number 1, Iran. Clint say 5th option. The correct answer is Iran. Iran is the answer. Iran is the answer. Chabahar seaport is being developed by India and it is in Iran. India wants Chabahar port on key corridor. India wants Chabahar port to be included in the 13-nation international north-south transport corridor. 13-nation international north-south transport corridor that extends from India to Russia and expand INSTC membership by including Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, said External Affairs Minister Jaishankar. So India wants Chabahar port to be included in the 13-nation international north-south transport corridor that starts from India and ends in Russia, and to include 2 more, one South Asian nation Afghanistan and one Central Asian Republic Uzbekistan. So these 2 countries are to be included in the INSTC. That is what Indian government wants. Okay, please read, very important. Chabahar. Clearing a low bar. The government must revisit spectrum auction formats, unrealistic pricing and regulatory norms. Government said that we all know the facts, and the facts are that government sold nearly 2,300 megahertz of spectrum through an auction a few days ago. 37% of the spectrum was sold and the government got nearly 77,000 crore from it, and major buyers, only 3 buyers participated, and the major buyer was Reliance Jio, followed by Bharati Airtel and Vodafone Idea. So these were the sale. The government said that it was a bumper success, but the Hindu points out that the pricing was unrealistic. We must understand that for premium segment, spectrum segment, there was no buyer. So India's latest auction of telecommunication spectrum is a qualified success, says the Hindu from the centre's perspective, mainly because the winning bids cumulatively exceeded the government's own perception on low expectations for receipts from the sale of airwaves. A total 855.6 megahertz was successful bid out of 2308 megahertz that was on offer, as the three largest telecom service providers sought to optimize their purchases of radio spectrum by seeking to acquire only what they deemed essential. They bought only what they deemed essential airwaves, either as renewal or for strengthening their network. So the companies bought only what they wanted and only what they thought essential for continuation of service. So the government on the other hand says that it was a grandiose success, but it was not. That's what the Hindu points out. The newest entrant to the industry, Reliance Jio, was the most acquisitive, acquiring around close to 60% of the spectrum bought at 488.35 megahertz, contributed almost 3/4 of the amount 77,815 crore that the Department of Telecommunication generated from the sale. Jio purchased it for 57,123 crore, which is around 60% of the spectrum revenue generated by the Department of Telecommunication. Okay, so please read, look, relatively low frequency 700 megahertz for instance is considered ideal for enhancing network availability and reach in the highly urbanized settings of large cities, but 700 megahertz spectrum was not bought by anybody. In a repeat of 2016 auctions outcome, significantly more efficient 700 megahertz was yet again shunned by all bidders, given it prohibitive reserve price. So the government kept a prohibitive reserve price. So 700 megahertz spectrum, the most efficient spectrum and the most suitable spectrum for urban and cities, urban areas and cities, and that spectrum that remained unsold even this time, as in the case of 2016. So through one side the government claims that the spectrum sale was a grandiose success, but on the other side we can say that it was only a kind of a qualified success. Third question, in the latest QS World University rankings, 3 Indian institutions in the field of engineering figure. Which among them has got the best rank at 49th? Is it IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, IIT Madras or IIT Kharagpur? The third question is in front of you, please answer. Which institution? Please, I look forward to your answering. Please provide the answers quickly. Yes, I have got the first response has come. It is the first option, IISc Bangalore. Okay, so many responses have come in favor of IISc Bangalore, but the answer is IIT Mumbai. IISc Bangalore has also been included in the first 100 list, and it has got IISc Bangalore got 92nd rank, but that is not for technology or engineering, it is for natural sciences. Last year a few more institutions from India were included, but now only 3 engineering institutes are included. Okay, so please go with this IIT Bombay. The fourth question, as per the QS World University Rankings, India ranks dash in COVID-19 research in terms of the number of published research papers on the pandemic. What is India's ranking in COVID research as per the QS World University Rankings? Of course, India has done very well, extremely well in COVID research, says the QS World University Rankings. And what is India's rankings? India's ranking, that's a question. Is it the first, second, third, fourth or fifth? What is India's ranking in COVID research? Quickly please. Gayatri says the fifth option, fifth rank. Yes, please provide me answers. I would like to see your responses. Okay, since I am not getting any further response, I am coming out with the answer. The answer is, Gayatri, you are correct, the fifth option, fifth rank. India's rank in COVID related research is 5, fifth rank. IISc in top 100 list in natural sciences. Please read this write up and prepare a good note on that. Please read. The first rank as usual goes to MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, US. The second is Stanford, third is Cambridge, UK. The 49th rank comes to IIT Bombay, and two more IITs have found their place in the 100 ranking. IIT Delhi 54th rank and IIT Madras 94th rank. And as regards natural sciences, again MIT first rank, Stanford US second rank, Harvard US third rank, and 92nd rank comes to India, and that too to IISc Bangalore. So please read about all the entire news and prepare your notes. Fifth question, the following question is based on the Union Housing and Urban Ministry's Ease of Living Index. Among big cities above 1 million population, which city is ranked the most livable? Is it Thiruvananthapuram, Kochi, Pune, Navi Mumbai or Bengaluru? Name the city, big city having more than 1 million, which is the most livable city in India. Is it Thiruvananthapuram, Kochi, Navi Mumbai, Pune or Bengaluru? Yes, the answer is correct, it is Bangalore. It is Bengaluru which is the most livable city amongst city above 1 million population. Sixth question, most livable below 1 million population. Below 1 million population, the most livable. Which city is ranked the most livable among the ones that are having below 1 million population? Is it Thiruvananthapuram, Bhubaneswar, Shimla, Gandhinagar or Davangere? Yes, the answer please quick. Very good, these are very probable questions for the exam. Very good, Reshma, Anjana, Nithya, Amrita. The answer is Shimla. Shimla is the most livable city. Okay, I am proceeding. Amongst cities that are having less than 1 million population. Again, the question is based on the same topic. Among big municipalities above 1 million population, which municipality is ranked the most livable? municipalities above 1 million population. Amongst municipalities above 1 million population, which municipalities rank the most livable? Is it Indore, Surat, Bhopal, New Delhi or Mumbai? Let the answers come quickly. Indore, Surat, Bhopal, New Delhi and Mumbai. These are the choices in front of you. Pick the correct choice. Yes, the correct answer is Indore, the first option. Very good. All of you gave the correct answers. Good. Again, the question is based on the same topic. Here, municipalities below 1 million, the most livable. Municipalities below 1 million. Is it Indore, Surat, New Delhi, Gandhinagar or Tirupati? Eighth question, municipalities below 1 million. Please answer. Indore, Surat, Tirupati, New Delhi and Gandhinagar are the contenders. Choices before you. Yes, the answer is New Delhi. The fourth option, New Delhi, is correct. Yes, please read this news item in the Hindu. Bengaluru, Shimla, most livable cities. Note down if I have opted out anything or missed anything. Please note down, read this question, very important. Nepal government signs peace pact with rebel group. We know that in Nepal there are constitutional crises going on. Prime Minister Oli resigned and dissolved the parliament, which was again an unconstitutional way of doing things. As per the Nepalese constitution, we read that if the option to form the government must be probed before the assembly can be dissolved, but that was not done. So that was questioned by the opposition parties in the parliament, and now the Nepali government signs peace pact with the rebel group. Please read, please follow, ensure that you have a real grip of things. It's a neighboring country of us, a country with long time relations for India and a democracy. UN tells Myanmar military to stop murdering protesters. I have already told you about what is happening in Myanmar subsequent to the February 1 military coup. Now people are being murdered in the cities. Military does not have the training to deal with its own people. They are trained to deal with the enemies. So no civilized nation will use military against its own people, but more than 50 people were brutally murdered in Myanmar. Now the international community is airing its concern on what is happening in Myanmar. In the instant news, Michelle Bachelet says that Myanmar military asked Myanmar military to stop murdering protesters. Okay. Fuel prices to drop if brought under GST, says SBI Research. It is a very important development. Recently the Reserve Bank of India governor said that petrol prices and diesel prices must be checked, because otherwise we will lose control over inflation. So inflation is under control now, but that control will be lost if petrol prices are spiraling like what is happening now. In many Indian cities, petrol prices have gone up beyond 100, and that has happened to people who have lost everything in the pandemic. So there is cushion for bringing petrol price to 75 a litre and diesel price 68 a litre, says the research. If petrol and diesel prices are brought under GST, we know that the maximum GST rate is only 28%, but presently governments, both the central and the state, are charging more than 50% between them. That is why the petrol prices are spiraling. When the international prices go up, the government should become less greedy, providing comfort to people. So the research by SBI says that there is scope to reduce petrol prices to 75 for petrol and 68 for diesel per litre. Assuming a GST rate of 28%, cess of 30 and 20 for petrol and diesel, equally shared between center and the state. We know that GST is shared between the center and the state equally. Then considering oil price $60 per barrel and the exchange rate of 73, $1 is rupees 73, and 1 barrel will cost $60. These were the considerations of SBI Research Group, and at this exchange rate $1.73 rupee and the international crude oil price 1 barrel $60, if 28% GST is applied, the prices will come down to 75 for petrol and 68 for diesel. We read somewhere yesterday that what government had anticipated was only around 3.2 lakh crore. This was what government planned to get through the last year's budget, but at this rate of very high excise duty, what the central government is going to get is around 4.25 lakh crore. So government has already got what it had budgeted in the last year. Anyway, governments, both the central and the state, have to seriously consider giving some kind of relief to people. PSU banks bad loan additions may moderate. It's a happy news for banks. Indian state-owned lenders are expected to see additions to bad loans moderate, but structural issues at the banks could cap returns on their stocks, Morgan Stanley said on Thursday. Some of the country's state-owned banks have long struggled with the pile of bad loans. Bad loan means non-performing assets, loans that are not properly serviced or repaid. That such loans are called bad loans or non-performing asset, prompting government to pump in more funds to shore up their balance sheets. So when NPAs go up, their banks have to provision more, which will weaken their capital base. So as the owner of these banks, government will have to shell out money to recapitalize banks. But this news is of course a relief to banks, saying that bad loans may moderate in near future. Thank you very much, my dear students, for the kind participation. I expect all of you to be watching the program on a daily basis. Tomorrow being Sunday, we don't have a news analysis, but on Monday I shall come with the newspaper of today. Ensure that you all read very well and spend quality time in front of the newspapers. Keep a diary of events, and that is how a very serious candidate for All India examinations do. So at 3 o'clock we shall come again with another live program on either English, math or reasoning. So thank you very much. Don't forget to leave your positive comment against this program. That will be a great encouragement to my team and I myself. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and share this program to your friends. Thank you very much. Goodbye.